people say, well, this is a cell, or it's an organ, or maybe some kind of hybrid thing that's partially biological, partially engineered. Maybe it's an entirely engineered thing, and they'll say, well, there's no way this thing has any kind of inner life, and it's posited as kind of a philosophical commitment, as you know, and so then we can ask, and I've had these discussions with people at neuroscience conferences, but you've got an inner life, and not everybody, but most people will say yes. And then you say, well, what's the substrate that underlies it? And they will say it's the brain, of course, it's neurons. And then we can say, what is a neuron? And so somebody will, let's say, write down 4 or 5 properties that neurons have. And at that point, I will say, yeah, but every cell in your body has that. They all do it. And the time scale is different, but it's actually very non-trivial to say what it is that neural networks do that other cells in your body do not do. And so at one point, we're not done yet, but we started a kind of project where you can make a table where you just show the major theories of consciousness and what it is about the brain that they think is sort of the magic component here that allows them to do this. And we can just look at all of the criteria that each of these theories has and ask, what do these things appear everywhere else? And in fact, certainly in all the way from single cells, we can talk about what happens before cells, but certainly from single cells, they do. And so now basically I'm not sure about much about consciousness, but the one thing I'm pretty sure of is that for whatever reason, people think that brains are associated with it. You have to be open to that exact same thing elsewhere in the body for exactly the same reasons. And then oftentimes people will say, but I don't feel like my liver is conscious. Well, of course you don't. You also don't feel like I'm conscious, right? It's nice for me to talk to your left hemisphere, right? For our 2 left hemispheres to talk to each other, but we actually don't. We don't have primary first person perspective on anybody else, and certainly not on any of our organs. So we have to be open for mechanistic reasons. We have to be open to that.